Hello everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw Bo Katan from Star Wars. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpies. So if you want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'll even include one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself, then get us going. Alright, I got a fun idea on this one. There's the straight pivoting line. So what I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to give you two options. I couldn't decide if I'm going to draw her with her helmet on or not. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the helmet and the head. I'm going to have the helmet on her hip, like she's holding it on her side over here. So I'm going to have the helmet and the head in the same position. So if you want to draw the helmet instead, it'll still be the same way. In other words, you just draw it up there for the head instead of where it is on her hip. And you'll be able to draw both. Or either, I guess is what I'm trying to say, not both. So let me get the preliminary, I don't have my words, the preliminary pose down, and then we can get to going. Get to going. See, I'm not a writer, I'm not a speaker, I'm a drawer, and that's what you are too, right? That's why you're here. We draw. Yeah. So usually that's why if you're new here, my words aren't very good, but that's okay. That's not why you're here. Or unless you are. Maybe you heard about me. You're like, hey, there's this video guy who does videos and he can't speak correctly, so he's always messing up words. It's hilarious. You gotta go see him. So if that's why you're here, hi, hello, arrivederci. I'm giving you some entertainment, right? Let's see. Oh, you know what I gotta remember? I gotta remember the pat too. I'm gonna try to remember all this stuff, but we'll see what comes out, because I'm notorious for sketching stuff and don't put it in because I forget. And we got a lot of stuff to do, and I'm just excited. So excited to do all of this, you know? Okay, so here, let me start sketching out the helmet. And I have to determine, no, you know what, I guess I don't. I need to determine the size of her head first, and then we can do the helmet, because I want to try to make it as accurate as possible, so I want to get it about the same size. You know, it's got to look like it's supposed to be there, or like it's supposed to fit. Does that make sense? Okay, so there's her front. So let me draw her neck like this to her head, which is going to be about right there. That looks about right. Okay, so I think I could build off of this. Let me draw her shoulders real fast. Shoulder pad. And this one over here. Right? Right. Alright. So, that means I have her more of her hip over this way, like that. That means that I can draw the helmet about the way I had it, but since I'm over here, I'm going to finish up some of these details and try to remember this stuff. So like I said, yeah, I'm notorious for getting excited and drawing all these things and sketching it out and then not putting them in, because I start focusing, or I start not focusing. Does that make more sense? Okay. Pistol, backpack, and that means it's going to come up here, do this. Yeah, alright. Okay, so let me draw the helmet in real fast, and let's see, I'm going to put it around this position, come around here like this. And I'm a sketcher too. So I like throwing down a whole bunch of lines until I see what it is I'm trying to get. And that's what I encourage you to do too whenever you do your sketches, is don't just draw a line and decide, okay, there it is, I'll build around that. Draw a bunch of them. Put a whole bunch of lines down that try to get you where you want to go, and then you're going to figure out which ones will take you there. So we're kind of building roads here, and then deciding what's going to get us there. The tricky part is I can't turn my paper, so I have to try to do this by hand, like you know, using my hand and not being able to turn. So yeah, so seeing like that, I'm going to draw her little scope. You know, it's got to be on the side of her helmet. And so her arm disappears back behind her. So that's kind of the nice thing, is we don't have to worry about drawing that other arm over there. It's actually holding this in a position that we can't even see. So maybe we can draw. See, if I draw like fingers like that off to the side, you're not going to know what that is. So let's just not do it. You know, I say it's better to let your eye work it out than for us to add stuff that's going to throw you off. Okay, so this is going to make her face a little bit smaller than I hoped. I don't know how, but that's what happens. That's what happens. Okay, I got her eyes. Like that. Nose. So is everybody watching the Mandalorian? Not the Mandalorian. The Clone Wars? I mean, hopefully you watch the Mandalorian, because it's a good show. But the reason I'm doing some of these characters again is because the Clone Wars started back up. And it's exciting. Okay, I think I'm ready here. I got the face the way I want. Not bad, not bad. I'm happy with it. But that's how you should always be, you know? Always be proud of your current drawing, because you should always be progressing and getting better. That's kind of the art theory, is every drawing is your best drawing. Every painting is your best painting, because you should be getting better and better and better as you go. It may not. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes, like, ugh, this one didn't work, I'm going to erase and start over. There you go. That's how it is. You learn from your mistakes and just progressing it better and better. Okay, there we go. I think I am good with that sketch, so I can get going to the Sharpie portion. So I'm going to erase some of the sketch lines, because we want to stick with just the confidence lines. Yeah, that's how it is in life. You want to stick with confidence, not with sketchiness. And I want the Sharpie to stand out, not the pencil lines. So I'm just going to lightly erase some of my sketch here. If you're working with pencil, you keep going. Just get darker as you go. But I need to erase some of this so the Sharpie will stand out and not the pencil lines. So there you go. I left myself a small ghost of an image. I'm going to build on this. And it looks good to me. I'm in a good spot. So let's welcome everybody that skipped. I appreciate anybody watching any portion. So welcome, skippers. Welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because I do a drawing every day. You can join along and have some fun. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen. Mostly a fine point, but the pen's a little finer than the fine point and can find the things that the fine point can't quite find. So I've sketched the entire thing out. I've erased the lighter lines, and what's left is a nice ghost of an image that I can draw on top of and won't stand out over the Sharpie. So I'm going to start off with the Sharpie pen and go with the finer details into the face. Something else I want to talk about too. I talked about this in the sketch. I've kind of done it that you can draw it however you want. She's going to be holding her helmet on her side over here. So if you'd rather draw her with the helmet on instead of the face, don't draw this part. Just wait. Catch back up. Maybe I'll see if I can leave a timestamp in. but catch back up around the neck, and then when we get to the head, you get right back up here and draw it in the helmet. Or I'm sorry, the helmet, you draw it over here over the head, okay? But for those of you that want to draw the face, here we go. I'm going to draw the eyes, and she's kind of looking with her head kind of tilted this way a little bit, so it's not straight at you, it's turned. So I'm going to draw the top of her eyelid like this. Draw the other top over here, just to make sure I've got them level. Even though it's turned, they still want to be level unless your head is turned, but hers isn't. It's pretty much straight. So that looks good to me. I'm going to build off of this. So I'm going to draw some pupils. I'm sorry, some retinas, and I have her looking forward like this. And because this is so tiny, 4 pupils, I can only do a few dots like that without it bleeding. So I'm going to stop right there. If you're drawing with a pencil, you can draw them in, but like I said, this is going to bleed if I go any further. So I'm going to stop right there and just work with what I have. And because of that, I also can't draw the underside of the eye because it'll bleed. So I'm just going to imply with my Sharpie like that there's the bottom of the eye. So I'm going to do the same thing on both sides like that. And then I'm going to give her just a little bit of a cat eye makeup just to show. It's going to be hard, try not to bleed. Just to show that she has eyelashes. Oops, too far there. Too far there. We're going to stop. I'm going to stop. Let's try to add a few over here just to even it out. Okay, I got to stop right there because I didn't mean to do that much of an eyelash, but I'm going to work with what I have and build on this. So I'm going to draw her eyebrows over here like this. And that came out pretty good for one stroke. I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm going to do this one there. Boom. I'm going to walk away. Because I'm afraid I'm going to make any more permanent mistakes, it looks good to me. I'm going to build off of this. So I'm going to draw the bridge of her nose. Because her head is kind of turned, I can see the bridge. I'm going to draw the bridge of her nose like this, just a little bit, just to imply the side, but not the entire thing. And so now I'm going to pick it right back up here and draw just some of the nostril. Down like that. And see how it's starting to get all over the place with just a few little strokes? I got to be careful. So I'm going to draw another nostril over here. And I'm going to draw the edge of the nostril like that. And I'm going to walk away from that. I'm not going to do any more because color can take care of that. And see how messy that got? I don't want to go any further. I like where I am. So I'm going to build with this. So I'm going to draw her mouth like this. And then draw little tiny the lips over it like that. And the bottom one down here like this. And again, I got to stop right there because it's already all gooched up. But I can work with this. I'm going to draw her chin right here. And now I'm going to start to thicken stuff up too, because once I come in with this Sharpie, it's really thick. I use this one to get the delicate features, but I'm going to start to copy what this is going to do so I can kind of blend the entire feel of the thick and the thin together. So now that I have the chin established down the middle of the face, I'm going to build from here. So I'm going to go the side of her face, I'm going to go up like this to her cheekbone. And there, look, I kind of hid my mistake of that gigantic eyelid eyelash that I did, right? I kind of hid that mistake. It didn't look bad, but it was a little bit too much, like that, okay? So now I'm going to draw the other side, and I'm going to stop right about here because her hair is going to be hanging down. So I'll go ahead and start from where I'm going to stop so I know where I am. Come back in and connect it here. And so like I said, I'm going to go ahead and thicken this up just a little bit. Not much, but enough to clean it up and get ready for this. So now I'm going to draw her headband, and that's going to be like this. And again, it's going to disappear on her hair here, so I know where I'm stopping. That's what the good thing about sketching. It gives you a good start-stop point. You know where you're going to go. So I'm going to draw the front of it here and go across. I'm going to come down to her forehead, and I'm going to draw the top of it. Okay, let's go ahead and draw that hair so you see where we are. So I'm going to draw the hair in like this, and that'll give us some start-stop points, okay? So I'm going to come here for the headband, go up a little bit like this for a little stylized design, and then come back down and then connect it like that. So it's got like this raised level to it, like the front. So we're just going to kind of do something like this. Color will will highlight more of that, but I just wanted to show you that little stylized technique, okay? So now I'm going to draw the rest of her hair, and I'll just pick a spot. How about right here, and just build it down, outside like this, tuck it in because it's pulled in like that, and that's where it's going to connect, and we'll say it's right there. Back of it's connected there. So, like I said, I want to thicken up the outer layer just to get ready for that Sharpie, and you'll see why in a second. But if you're working with pencil, you don't have to do this. I'm just doing it, like I said, to get ready for what's about to happen. I'm making it sound like it's a big event, but what I mean is the way it's going to look is what I'm trying to say. So this is kind of hard for me because I can't turn my paper, and usually, you know, you want to turn to do it to move the way that your hand does. I can't, so I'm stuck doing it this way. So I'm just going to go ahead and start from over here and see if I can build my way around. Come around like this. Oops, look, I messed up a little bit. That's okay. I'm gonna fix it with thicker, thin lines. So I'm gonna go out there, connect it like that, and it's okay if it's not perfect. But that's also the beauty of thickening up some of these lines with the Sharpie, is because you can hide some stuff. And see, I'm off there too. That's okay. I'm not worried about it. Okay, so I'm gonna connect down here, that little whippy hair she's got to the front like this. And there's our design. Okay, so, and also here I'm going to do this to kind of highlight, boom, that it's going up and tucked back like that. So now I think I'm going to switch over to the other Sharpie because the majority of it's going to be done with that, and I could do it with this big Sharpie now. I'm not worried about dainty features. Oops, I lost my picture. There it is. Okay, so I'm going to draw her neck like this and build off of that. So she's got the little shoulder pads, so I'm going to come in like this. I'm going to draw that outer layer. See how thick this is starting to get? That's why I wanted to kind of match what this is going to be doing. Okay? So her neck is kind of behind that piece of hair, so I'm not worried about that. So I'm going to go ahead and draw the shoulder piece like we did there. Come in like this. Okay. And I'm going to draw what's in front first, so I'm going to work on this arm and then work my way back. Alright, so I'm going to draw this shoulder pad. Just going to kind of draw the shape that I sketched out. Connect it like that. I'm not going to worry about the design. Color is going to take care of that. We'll go ahead and connect it right there though. And I'm going to draw this arm. So this one's just, let's see. Yeah, just regular old arm coming down. There's the elbow into the forearm. There's the arm into the forearm again. I'm going to stop right there because I got to draw the arm piece here, or a little gauntlet. Connect a few things there and bring it in like that. Now it has kind of this raised level dark thing like that, so I'm going to draw a few little what are they called, greeblies. Greeblies are the extra little pieces that are on ships whenever they build them in like spaceships and stuff like that. And they took apart battleships and put them together. The little extra things that they put on there, they call them greeblies. Alright, so I'm going to come in here with a smaller Sharpie and just add just a little bit of extra detail just to make it space arm, you know? Specific detail. There we go. That's good. Okay, and I'm just going to have her hand just hanging down in a fist. She's strong and powerful. I'm going to draw her thumb in like that, tucked into her finger. There's the back of her hand, but she's got a little protector on the edge. So we're going to draw that. So all we're going to see is some of the knuckles into the finger, and that's it. That's all we can really do. So, going to move on from here. I'm going to draw her waist to her hip. So come in like this. Now, she has a belt on, and then I can work my way up. So let's do that. Let's do her belt. I'm going to draw like an extra little pouch where she keeps her little snack packs and pudding cups and things to eat, stuff like that. You know, every growing Mandalorian needs extra packs of food and things like that, you know. And we'll draw another one over here, just kind of off just like we did, like that. Add some extra lines like this, like for the belt. Okay, so I'm going to draw her waist up, and then we're going to draw the helmet. Now, those of you that want, you can get ready for the head if you want to draw her with the helmet up here. And here's her breast to the armor. And let's see, for the armor, I'm just going to go ahead and draw a black square because there's a hollowness to it, like there's a separate piece, but I think I'm just going to draw it with a big flat Sharpie to separate it, okay? Okay, so the armor is going to come over like this, come back down, like that. Like that. Okay, so the middle of it, I'm just going to come down like this, and it's got like this octagon piece like that. I guess it's not an octagon, right, if it's 6 sides. Septagon? Like that, and that'll be her armor. Okay, because the rest of that's black, we're not too worried about that. Okay, so I'm going to draw her helmet, and her arm's pretty much behind it, so that's all we got to worry about. So it's on her hip, so it's just kind of out like this. There's the middle of it. Come over this way. And I talked about in the sketch that her arm is underneath holding it, but we don't want to draw the fingers or anything because it's going to look off. We're just going to have to understand that her hand's behind holding the helmet up. So I'm going to draw the top of it, come over here like this, and it's going to come down, connect right there. And the side piece is coming up like this. The what do you call it? The rangefinder little piece, like that. Close that off. Draw the front of it like that. There we go. But we can't see it because it's back behind her breast. Okay, so now we're going to draw the middle, the visor, like this. I've already sketched it out, so that's why I know where I'm drawing. Look at my paper's bowing for some strange reason. Hold on, let me retape this real quick. Okay, there we go. Hopefully that'll help. I've already sketched it out, so that's how I know where to put these lines. I'm not just randomly putting them down. Like that. Okay, and I think the rest I want to do with color. I don't want to go too crazy, but let me draw a few of the little extra pieces for you. Because I think color should really handle most of it. Wow, why is it bowing up so much? That's crazy. Okay, so I'm going to do one like this, one down like that, and let's see, I guess the other one's like that. And this side's going to come down here like this, and go back up, and we'll go over like that. So the rest I'll do with color, but that's the visor and the hood for her helmet. Okay, so what's left I can draw back behind. Wow, my paper's just bowing so much, this is crazy. What's left I can draw back behind her helmet, like what's left of her shoulder, because you can only see so much now, and that's all we're going to be able to do. Okay, so now we're going to build on this. So there's the bottom part of her armor, which is coming down like this. Okay, and so now we're just going to draw her hips and weapons that we can see. I'm going to try to remember to come back and do that jetpack in a second. I just have to build off of this. So this leg, let's see, her crotch is right there, like that. So I'm going to draw this leg down here like this to her knee pad. And I did that because I'm going to have a strap going across holding her gun. Like this. Draw the hip up. And the gun, we can only see so much of it because it's in a holster. So I'm just going to draw this. We'll draw a little bit of the handle like that. That's all you can really see. It's tucked in. And we'll do something like that. Okay? There. Now, before I go any further, let me add this strap. Before I go any further, I'm going to draw the jetpack because you can only see so much of it now, but I've got it all closed off that we can fit it in. So I'm going to come up like this to the back of it, like that, And it's going to come down, as we'll say it's right here. So the back side is kind of something like this, but that's all we can see of it. Okay, it's a little confusing, but that's why I wanted to do it just now once it's hidden behind everything, so you can see what's what. All right, you know what I didn't do? Creases and folds. Let's do a few of those in a second. I'm just gonna finish up these legs because there's not much more to go, and then we can add some creases and folds. So there's her knee pad. That means her legs gonna come out like that. It's gonna come down here, come up like that for the knees, and then her little what do you call it? Shin protector is gonna be like this. Oops, that shouldn't have come out that far. That was a mistake, but that's what happens. That's what happens with the Sharpie, and we're just gonna live with it because it's nothing worth crying about, right? All right. So the front of her foot is pointing at you. We'll connect this real fast. The front of the foot is pointing at you. She's got a little protector over her foot like that, so you can see that much. Coming down to the front toe, something like this. We'll go ahead and add just a little bit of tread like that, just to give you some detail. And let's see, the front, yeah, it's pretty much just a square like that. And there we go. We just added a little bit more harder features, a little bit of edge to it, you know. All right, so let me add a few creases and folds just to try to make up that it's cloth, you know. Because I like highlighting and showing that, you know, it's not all armor, it's soft goods, basically is what we say in the toy business. Not that I'm in it, but that's a lot of the stuff they talk about on the videos I watch about toys. All right, so here we go. Let's finish up this other leg, and I'll add some lines in the crotch right there just to show that it's stressed on there too, and we'll finish it up. So same thing, we're gonna add the strap going across, something like that for the top of the leg, and come down here to the knee where it goes across just like it did there. Back of the thigh like this, and I'll go ahead and add the straps holding the gun over here. And again, same thing, we can't see much because of the way that it's put in there, or the angle that we're at, right? So this is what I was talking about. Since we're here, let's go ahead and finish up. In her crotch right here, we're just going to add a few little lines going across just to show that there's tension in the material. Creases and folds is what I like to call them. Something like that. Sorry, my chair fell out. All right, so let's finish this thing up. So we're going to draw the front of her knee pad there. So we're drawing it at a different angle because the way it's turned a little bit. So let's go ahead and just add this little bit of detail like I did right there. Like that. All right. Then we're going to come down here for the shin protector. Try not to go bow it out like I did right there. All right, so now I'm going to draw the front of the shoe, this little thing. It's almost kind of like Fortnite shoe protectors, right? They got this weird little shoe protecting thing. All right, so here I'm just going to draw, come down, there's the heel. But I'm going to draw like that, like the front of a little hard-edged shoe. So now I'm going to draw some sole like that. And again, I just wanted to add just some hard edges like we did there, just to show that it's a hard surface is what I'm trying to say. But I don't have the right words to say it because I'm not a good speaker. Alright, so I'm just adding a few little extra creases and folds just to show that it's material that'll bend. Like that. So there you go. I say we take care of the rest with color. So that is Bo Katan from Star Wars.
So here is my colored version. You could do it however you like. I just thought I'd show you how I decided to color it. If you'd like to color it like this, you can always pause the video here and use the coloring techniques that I used, or you can just make it your own. Remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures of how I draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button to be updated about each new video.